Heartwarming moment, Billionaire discovers incredible Waitress's life-changing dance with his audience. The diner buzzed like a hive. The air was thick with the scent of pancakes and coffee, laughter swirling among clinking silverware, but all eyes turned as Emma emerged from behind the counter. With her graceful movements, her smile radiated warmth, a beacon inviting even the most weary souls to feel at home. She was 30-something, a single mother struggling through her shifts at the cozy Chicago diner, her heart filled with the dreams of a dancer. Every evening she found fleeting moments to practice her ballet moves, spinning and leaping behind the scenes, a world away from reality yet too close to let go of. One fateful night brought a different energy. The clatter of plates and chatter was punctuated by the unmistakable presence of a somber figure at the counter, a battle-worn veteran, his weary eyes lost in shadows of the past. Emma felt a tug in her heart as she stepped away from her duties, wanting to comfort him. She approached slowly, compassion spilling over. As she began to dance, every pirouette and leap was infused with hope, sending ripples through the space. "Wow, look at that!" murmured an elderly man, wiping a tear from his eye as he watched. Emma moved like the wind, her spirit entwined with every step, recasting the diner as a stage in a whirlwind of forgotten dreams and undying resilience. Amongst the audience, Jack sat entranced. A billionaire caught in a cycle of board meetings and empty parties, he felt something stir inside him, a flicker of warmth reminding him of simpler times. He'd forgotten the joy of life's little moments, drowned in the expectations that came with wealth. Watching Emma dance, he realized how far he'd drifted from reality. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Her dance melted barriers, uniting strangers from different walks of life under a shared human experience. Inspired, Jack resolved to help her dream come true by investing in a local dance studio. But this path was fraught with challenges. His elitist friends scoffed at the idea. "What makes you think she deserves it?" they sneered, their remarks ringing like bells of disapproval. But Emma was more than a project. She was a reminder of what passion looked like outside the world of money and status. As Emma grappled with bills, her aspirations, and caring for her son, Jack wrestled with societal pressures and expectations. The diner became their meeting point, where the realities of their worlds collided and tensions flared. Each visit brought them closer but deepened the class disparities that loomed between them. In a moment charged with raw emotion, Jack found himself at a crossroads. Would he choose the prestige of his wealthy life, or take a stand for the truth he found in Emma's relentless spirit? With dreams hanging in the balance, they each faced their unspoken fears, of love, family, and the essence of fighting for what truly matters. As the night drew to a close, the diner remained lit by the glow of shared moments, of fragile hope shimmering in the air. Could Emma embrace her dreams? Would Jack step away from the shadows of privilege to reclaim the joy of connection? The question lingered, echoing softly against the backdrop of their intertwining destinies. The following evening, the diner was enveloped in a warm glow that mirrored the anticipation hanging in the air. Emma stood behind the counter, pouring coffee with more purpose than usual. She felt a flutter of excitement, the kind that brewed when dreams felt just a whisper away. After her dance the night before, something had shifted, not just for her, but also for Jack. Jack entered the diner, his presence immediately commanding attention. The door chimed lightly, and the buzz of chatter momentarily hushed as patrons turned to gauge who had arrived. He looked different, somehow lighter. It was as if Emma's dance had loosened the chains of his self-imposed cage. His eyes searched the room, landing on Emma, who felt her heart race. Was it hope? Or fear of the changes that lay ahead? "Hey," he greeted, flashing a genuine smile that lit up his face. "Hey," Emma replied, her pulse quickening. It was simple, yet there was an unspoken connection thrumming between them like a tightrope stretched above uncertainty. Jack took a seat at the counter, ordering his usual. But it was clear he had come for more than just food. As she placed the steaming plate in front of him, he leaned closer, lowering his voice. "I've been thinking about the dance studio I want to help." Emma's breath hitched, caught between disbelief and excitement. "Really? You're serious?" It felt surreal, floating between reality and the possibilities her dreams had always conjured. "I am," he replied, his gaze steady. "You deserve it. Your passion is contagious, Emma." She remembered the weight of his world, the shackles of his life that dragged him down. How could he see that in her when he had been weighed down by expectations himself? But she hesitated. "What will your friends think? They're not exactly the most supportive." Jack shrugged, his expression firm. "Let them think what they want. I'm done living for them." The resolve in his voice wrapped around her like a warm blanket on a chilly night. Joy surged through her, battling with the caution that sprang from years of being careful. "But will you be able to do it? Support me? It's a big commitment." "It's worth it," he replied, his confidence infectious. "You've already inspired me. I want to see this happen." As they talked, every word unfurling layers of emotion, an elderly woman in the corner tapped her glass, capturing everyone's attention. "We all could use a little more of your dancing, dear," she called out, her voice warm and encouraging. The diner seemed to lean in closer, a shared breath held in a moment that felt crucial. Jack glanced at Emma, both of them caught in the current of something profound. Emma's heart fluttered with the hope of what this meant, the chance to share her dreams beyond the walls of the diner. "Let us do a public performance," Emma suddenly proposed, fueled by a rush of adrenaline. "A night to showcase local talent. It could help draw in some support." Jack's eyes lit up. "That's a brilliant idea. We can invite the community, get them involved." Emma smiled, her heart swelling. Together, they began mapping out their grand plan, words flowing like a dance. But beneath that initial excitement was an undercurrent of doubt that neither fully acknowledged. Could they withstand the pressure from their separate worlds? Would theirs be a fleeting dream or something far greater? As they dove deeper into preparations over the next few weeks, something within their fragile bond began to shift. Each day brought new challenges and unexpected distractions: the judgment from his peers, the responsibilities of her single motherhood, but they fought to hold on. As they parted that evening, Emma felt an electric charge lingering between them, exhilarating yet terrifying. Was she truly ready to take this leap? Would they be able to rise above the turmoil that loomed ahead? The questions hung in the air, heavy like an unstruck note, as they stepped back into their worlds, the diner slowly emptying, and a night of dreams now tinged with uncertainty. What lay ahead could change everything, but would they have the courage to face it together? The next few days flew by in a whirlwind of planning and preparation. Emma and Jack met almost every evening at the diner, sketching out ideas for the performance. The diner, usually a sanctuary of routine, transformed into a vibrant hub of creativity. Emma's laughter cut through the clinking of dishes and the hum of conversation, filling the space with a buoyancy that only intensified when Jack was around. Their connection deepened, each meeting charged with unspoken possibilities that danced between them like the music they planned to share. Yet, as the days melded together into a blur of excitement, Emma couldn't shake a gnawing sense of doubt. Every time she saw Jack smile, a flicker of worry ignited within her. Could it last? Was he truly ready to step into her world, away from the approval and expectations of his old life? One evening, as they sat at their usual spot in the booth, Emma watched Jack sketch ideas for the performance on a napkin, his brow furrowed in concentration. The dim light overhead cast a soft glow over his features, illuminating the determination in his eyes. "What do you think about starting the event with a dance-off? Something fun to kick things off?" he suggested, looking up at her expectantly. Emma bit her lip, hesitating. I love that idea, but what if people don't show up? What if they think it's silly? Come on, Emma. You know it's not silly. It's about getting people involved, having fun, he said, his enthusiasm infectious. We need to show them that dance is for everyone, not just the professional stuff. Remember how you felt when you were on that stage? His words struck a chord, stirring a memory of the exhilaration from the night before. She nodded slowly, feeling the warmth of that recollection. But a heavy cloud loomed over her heart. What if we fail? What if we don't raise enough money? I can't risk disappointing my son or you. Jack's expression softened, and he reached across the table, his hand covering hers. Emma, you won't disappoint me. I'm in this with you. We're a team. The sincerity in his gaze pushed back her fears just a little, but the worry still tugged at her heart. As days passed, their conversations transformed into rehearsals. Emma taught Jack simple dance moves he struggled with but approached each misstep with laughter. She admired his determination, even when he fumbled through the steps. Each laugh was a thread adding to the fabric of an unexpected bond. Despite the joy they shared, the weight of their individual realities was palpable. Jack faced skepticism from his friends' ghosts of loyalty and expectation that clung to him like shadows. Emma navigated the challenge of juggling a single-parent life while managing her own safety net. One Monday evening, as the diner began to wind down, Emma noticed Jack staring at his phone, his expression tense. He looked up, catching her curious gaze. It's one of my friends, he shrugged, shoving his phone into his pocket. I told him I was busy, but what? What's their deal? Emma prodded gently, sensing the tension in the air. They just don't understand. It's hard for them to see why I'd want to spend time in a place like this, he replied, his voice barely a whisper. But I don't want to lose what we're building. His words made Emma's heart constrict. The path they were navigating was becoming paved in more than just excitement, it was layered with uncertainty and the looming question of whether their worlds could truly collide. That evening, as they parted, Emma leaned in to kiss Jack's cheek. His warmth lingered on her skin, but his expression held a silent worry that mirrored her own. She turned away, a knot of anxiety forming in her stomach. Would their dreams come together in harmony, or were they heading toward a collision that could tear them apart? The evening air felt heavy with unspoken words, and as she walked home, the shadows of hesitation chased her. What awaited them in the days ahead could either be a beautiful symphony or a painful discord, and deep down, Emma knew a choice loomed just out of reach. When she opened her front door, a glimmer of hope pierced through the fog. Was she ready to face both the dreams and the fears? As she gazed at her sleeping son, a wave of determination surged through her. She had to find out, for both their sakes. Would the upcoming performance be the answer to all her worries, or would it challenge everything she thought she knew? The next day, Emma woke up early, the sun trickling through her window and spilling golden light onto her bedroom walls. She took a moment to breathe in the quiet calm of her home, letting it ground her before the whirlwind of the day swept her away. Today was about choices, about moving forward with the performance and finding a way to show Jack how serious she was about this opportunity. After sending her son off to school, Emma drove straight to the diner, a buoyancy in her heart. The familiar smell of coffee and sizzling bacon wrapped around her like a warm hug. She spotted Jack already there, sketching out more ideas on a fresh napkin, animated and focused. The sight made her smile, his passion was contagious. Morning, he greeted, his voice brightening her day even more. I've been thinking about adding some interactive elements to the dance-off. Like a choreographed moment where people can jump in. Sounds like you've been up all night planning, Emma replied with a teasing smirk as she slid into the booth across from him. Can you blame me? This is going to be great. I just want to make it fun for everyone. His eyes twinkled with excitement. As they delved deeper into their plans, Emma felt herself getting swept away in the rhythm of creativity. The laughter, the banter, and the way they worked together made the fear that had weighed her down lift ever so slightly. But every now and then, a flicker of doubt returned, especially when she noticed Jack's phone buzzing on the table from time to time, each text possibly filled with the judgments of his friends. She hesitated to bring it up. She knew the importance of his image among them, but they were building something together, and she couldn't ignore that nagging feeling that this precarious balance could shatter. "Jack, do you think it's worth it? Like, everything we're doing?" She ventured carefully, her eyes searching his for assurance. He paused, his brow furrowing slightly. "What do you mean?" It feels like we're on two sides of a fence sometimes. If your friends can't see why this matters to you, how can we really make this work?" Jack dropped his gaze, fiddling with the napkin in front of him. "You know, at first, I thought they'd understand. They've been supportive, but I keep hearing them say I'm wasting time here. It gets to me." Emma felt her heart drop. "You shouldn't have to choose between what makes you happy and the people you care about." His eyes darted back to hers, and she saw the struggle within him. "But what if they're right? What if I'm just chasing a dream that can't sustain me?" "Dreams can sustain us in ways we don't even realize," she replied softly, reaching across the table to take his hand. "Maybe they can," he said, allowing a half-smile. For a moment, their connection sparked brightly, the weight of uncertainty seeming to lift. The diner light shifted as the day wore on, and the two of them got lost again in their plans. They hashed out dance moves, joking about what would go awry on the big night, and empathetically sharing their fears. But soon, a call shattered their moment. Jack's phone rang, and he hesitated before picking it up. "It's my buddy Kyle," he said, the light fading from his eyes. "I should take this." Emma watched as he stepped outside, tension creeping back in. It was as if the energy drained from the diner, and in that brief absence, the reality of his friend's opinions slammed into her. She could feel the weight of their futures hanging in the balance, the performance turning from an opportunity to an ultimatum. Would he choose loyalty over love? A solid, defiant thought emerged, pushing her doubts aside. She would fight for this. When Jack returned, she sprung to her feet, excitement blazing. "Let us make this dance-off even bigger. Let us light up the night for everyone, us, our friends, and the folks who felt left out. Let us show them the true joy of dance." His eyes widened, and for a moment, surprise and admiration flickered across his face. "Are you sure?" "I'm sure. We won't just dance for ourselves. We'll dance for everyone who ever felt different." Determination ignited between them, replacing the silence that had threatened to divide them. As they worked, Jack's phone buzzed again, and when he glanced at the screen, a storm of emotions crossed his features. "I need to check this." Emma swallowed hard, the weight of the moment crashing in. Was this the balance they had been seeking, or were they dancing on the edge of their destinies? Would their performance unite their worlds, or would it unearth the divides that separated them in ways neither of them could see? Jack's brows knitted tightly as he read the text. Emma could almost feel the room contract, the air growing heavy with uncertainty. She leaned in, trying to catch a glimpse of the screen. "What is going on?" she asked, her heart beating a little faster. "It's Kyle," Jack replied slowly. "He's asking if I'll join them for the weekend. They want to go to that party up in the city. You know, the one with all the influencers." Emma's pulse quickened. "And you want to go? What if this is my last chance to connect? To show them I'm still a part of that world?" His voice pitched a little higher, revealing the doubt that gnawed at him. "I don't want to be left behind, Emma." She took a deep breath, her mind racing. This was the moment she feared, the moment that could either bring them closer or pull them apart all over again. But what about the dance-off? What if this is the thing that changes everything for you? He sighed, rubbing the back of his neck like he always did when he was wrestling with confusion. I don't know. Maybe it is. But it's hard to let go, you know? Hard, yes, but not impossible. Her voice softened, trying to ground both of them. You can't let their opinions dictate your choices. This dance-off, you know, it means something to you. To both of us. We will never have this chance again. Jack looked at her, and for a brief moment, she could see the flicker of hope mirrored in his eyes. But the shadows were still there, lurking in the corners. I just wish it was easier. I wish they would see this too. Maybe they will if we show them. What if you brought your friends to the performance? Let them see what we're creating. Our joy, our passion, it could change everything. Emma felt a surge of adrenaline. And if they don't understand, maybe you don't need them. The determination in her voice sparked something in Jack. It illuminated the path he had been too afraid to see. You really believe we could win them over? That they could learn to accept this? I do. But it starts with you. You need to choose what you want, Jack. His mouth curled into a thoughtful frown, the gears turning in his head. Suddenly, the bell above the diner door chimed, and a group of teenagers spilled in, laughter echoing as they headed straight for the counter. Emma squeezed Jack's hand gently, trying to give him a sense of grounding amidst the chaos. Look at them, she said, glancing at the vibrant group. They're the ones we're doing this for. To show them it's okay to be different. To celebrate it. Just like you want to. Maybe you're right, he mused. Maybe that's what I need to prove to myself too. The tension eased a little, but Jack's phone buzzed insistently again, breaking their moment of clarity. He glanced at the screen, his expression dropping. It's another text from Kyle. He says they've already made plans for a big time this weekend. They're expecting me. Jack looked at Emma, torn. What do I do? Emma felt her heart race. Standing on the edge of a precipice, they had a choice, to leap into the unknown together or to retreat back to safety with their doubts. She squeezed his hand tighter. You decide what you want your world to look like. Follow your heart. And just like that, the whirlpool of thoughts inside him began to settle. Jack took a deep breath, the weight of the choice forming into clarity. But before he could speak, his phone buzzed again, a new message lighting up the screen. An urgent one. Emma's breath caught in her throat, wondering what revelation lay hidden within those words. Would it change everything they'd just fought for? The moment of truth was hovering just out of reach, ready to drop like a stone into the weighty silence between them. They were on the brink, teetering at a crossroads. Would he choose the dance? Or would this pull him away once and for all? Jack stared at the screen as the message flickered before him. His heart raced. Emma watched the shifting emotions on his face, anxiety etched deep in the lines of his brow. The buzzing of his phone seemed to amplify the tension in the diner, drowning out the excited chatter of the teenagers nearby. He finally swiped to read the message. It says, he hesitated, a knot forming in his throat. Kyle just got an offer for a sponsorship deal. If I come to the party, I'll be in the spotlight. It could lead to so much. Emma felt a chill running through her. She knew this was more than just a chance for Jack, it was a potential lifeline to his dreams. But in that moment, she also understood that it was a decision that could pull him away from everything they were building together. Jack, she urged, searching for the right words. Think about what you want. Is it worth it? Jack studied her, vulnerability creeping back into his expression. I want to be part of that world, sure. But I also want this dance-off to matter. To feel real, not just another step in someone else's game. Tears blurred the edges of her vision. Then don't let Kyle or anyone else write your story for you. Choose the path that makes you feel alive. Choose us. The words hung in the air, heavy and hopeful. The laughter from the teenagers faded as Jack took a moment, his gaze drifting away from the phone. He was lost in thought, piecing together what Emma had said. She had given him strength, one that was often buried beneath layers of expectation and fear. And just as he opened his mouth to respond, a loud voice broke through their moment. "Hey, Jack." A girl from the group had called out, her laughter carving through the atmosphere. "Are you coming to the party? We'll have a blast." Jack's heart sank a little, the pull of the outside world tugging at him. He turned back to Emma, hoping to find clarity in her eyes. Instead, she offered a smile that held both warmth and worry, a signal that urged him to find his truth. The buzzing phone again demanded attention, but he felt like he was running out of time. What if they don't get it? What if Kyle walks all over my chance to shine? What if this is my chance? Emma leaned closer, her voice low and steady. "You're the one shining, Jack. Not them. Do you want a quick spotlight, or do you want a light that lasts?" She felt the silence deepen, each second stretching into eternity. Emma reached out and covered his hand with hers, her warmth grounding him as the echoes of uncertainty collided with their unwavering connection. "Think about today," she said softly. "This moment. Can you imagine missing out on that dance-off, the one that's about you and me, where we get to be just us? This isn't just dancing. This is about defining who you are." His features softened as realization began to seep in. He needed to decide. Not just for them, but for himself. Jack took a breath, scanning the diner around them. The laughter, the energy, the hope all mixed together, leading him to the brink of a decision. "I need to be honest with myself. I can't take another step backward." As he said it, he felt the words fracture something inside him, freeing him from the weight of expectation. He looked back at Emma, who had been his anchor throughout this storm. "Okay," he said finally, his voice steady. "I'm going to choose the dance-off." But she squeezed his hand, a hint of gravity in her eyes. What if Kyle's message changes everything? His phone buzzed with new urgency, and Jack felt the world around them sharpen with anticipation. It was more than just a choice now, it was the moment that would define the next chapter of their lives. Could they stand united against whatever storm was coming? Or would the tides of chaos drag them apart? Emma held her breath, knowing they were just on the cusp of something big. All the pieces were shifting, and both were ready to discover what lay ahead. Jack's phone buzzed again, the relentless noise pulling him back from his thoughts. He glanced down, half expecting another message from Kyle, but it was just a notification. A reminder of the dance-off. A wave of nervous energy crashed over him as reality sunk in. Emma's eyes were fixed on him, a mixture of encouragement and concern. "You okay?" she asked softly, her voice slicing through the frenzy of his thoughts. "Yeah," Jack replied, but the knot in his stomach told a different story. He could feel the tension build as the decision loomed over him like a storm cloud. I want to make the right choice. I don't want to let you down. You could never let me down." Emma's words were firm, unwavering. "This is about you, it's your journey. Just do what feels right. Trust yourself." Her unwavering faith ignited something within him. He thought about all the hours spent practicing, the sweat, the dreams woven in every beat. The dance-off was not just a competition to him, it was a testament to everything he had worked for. But could he really ignore the allure of a brighter path that lay ahead, one crafted by someone else? Jack felt the pressure rising again, almost stifling. He looked around the diner, at the laughter, the smiles, and for a moment, he questioned everything. The party, the potential fame, was it selfish to want these things when they could cost him what he cherished most? Suddenly, the door of the diner swung open, letting in a rush of brisk wind. In walked Kyle, a confident grin plastered across his face as he scanned the room. Jack's heart rate quickened. Here was the embodiment of temptation and rivalry, striding in so casually, unaware of the storm brewing inside Jack. "Hey, look who it is!" Kyle called out, waving in Jack's direction. He closed the distance, effortlessly drawing the attention of everyone around them, like a magnet. Hope you're ready for the party. It's going to be unbelievable. Emma squeezed Jack's hand tighter, a silent offering of strength as Kyle continued to speak, suffocating the air with bravado. You should really consider it, Jack. This could be your big break. Everyone important will be there. And you don't want to get left behind. The words hung thick like a fog, and Jack felt torn. On one hand, the promise of a grand future shimmered invitingly. On the other, was the dance-off his heart's true desire laid bare in every step they practiced together. This was about more than just him, it was about them. What if my big break is right here? Jack finally snapped back, the words tumbling out before he could stop them. The realization was electric, charging through him like a wildfire. What if this is the moment I'm meant to shine? Kyle's smirk faltered, surprise flickering across his features. Emma's eyes widened, a glimmer of pride lighting up her face. Jack, but he cut Kyle off. I'm not going to chase some flashy opportunity while turning my back on what really matters. The dance-off is what I want. The diner seemed to hold its breath. Faces turned toward him, whispers spreading through the crowd. Jack felt alive, a rush of courage washing over him as he stood his ground. Kyle's expression morphed into irritation. Fine, but don't come crying to me when you realize you threw away your shot. With that, he turned on his heel and strode out, slamming the door behind him. Relief washed over Jack as the tension faded, replaced by something warmer. He looked at Emma, her eyes sparkling with admiration. They were in this together, facing whatever came next. Thanks for believing in me, he said, his voice steady now. Emma smiled, her warmth wrapping around him like a hug. I always will. But beneath the relief, a new question gnawed at the edges of his thoughts. What if Kyle had more to offer than he realized? As the atmosphere hummed with energy, Jack felt the threads of fate weaving their next chapter. Could they truly hold strong against the whispers of doubt that Kyle had sown? Their journey was just beginning, and the stakes were rising. What new challenges awaited them on this chosen path? As Jack stepped out of the diner, the brisk evening air felt like a refreshing slap to the face. He breathed deep, trying to shake off the remnants of his confrontation with Kyle. The weight of his decision pressed on him, but the warmth of Emma's support lingered, a glow that brightened the path he had chosen. He was ready to own this moment. The dance-off is just around the corner, huh? Emma's voice broke through his thoughts as she walked beside him. Her presence was a beacon, gently guiding him through the uncertainty he faced. Yeah, it is. Jack glanced over at her, searching her face for any hint of doubt, but all he saw was encouragement. I guess this means I really have to give it my all. Exactly. You've got this. Remember what we practiced. Just focus on the music and how it makes you feel. Emma grinned, confidence radiating in every word. But as they approached the community center, nerves crept back in. The place was buzzing with energy, laughter, and chatter spilling out of the doors. It seemed everyone in town had come out to watch. For a moment, Jack paused, his heart pounding. Was he really ready for this? I'm not sure I can do it, he admitted, fear creeping back into his voice. Emma stopped, turned to him, and took his hands in hers. You can. You've worked too hard to walk away now. Remember, this isn't just about winning. It's about expressing yourself, letting go, and sharing that with everyone. Her words cut through his doubt, rekindling the fire inside him. The dance-off was not just a test, it was his stage. It represented every drop of sweat shed, every late night spent perfecting steps. Okay, let us do this, he said with newfound determination. Inside, the atmosphere was electric. People packed the room, music thumping through the air, sparking excitement. Jack felt the adrenaline surge through him, the thrill of being on the verge of something transformative. As the contestants took their turns on the floor, Jack watched with wide eyes. Each performance was unique, a vivid display of talent and emotion. It was overwhelming, but it also ignited a light within him. Next up, Jack and Emma. The announcer's voice rang out, pulling him back to reality. Jack's heart sank and soared all at once. This was it. They stepped onto the dance floor, in unison, their energy radiating in a way that felt almost tangible. The music began, a catchy beat that thumped in his chest. Jack glanced at Emma, her smile infectious, and suddenly, the crowd faded into the background. Together, they lost themselves in the rhythm, pouring everything they had into each move. It was liberating. Every spin, every twist felt like a release. The nerves washed away as they danced like no one was watching, lost in their own world. The audience began to cheer, and Jack realized they were thriving on the energy around them. But just as the chorus hit, Jack saw a familiar figure lurking by the door. Kyle stood there, arms crossed, an expression that spoke volumes. Doubt flooded back in, and for a split second, Jack faltered, uncertainty crashing over him. Emma caught his eye, her rhythm unwavering. She didn't break stride. She just smiled, pulling him back in, reminding him of their connection. Jack felt a surge of courage override the doubt swirling in his mind. They danced harder, faster, letting their passion take control. But as the song reached its peak, he couldn't shake the feeling that this moment would define him. And then, just as the final note hung in the air, Jack caught sight of Kyle again, a smirk creeping across his face. Was this the end or just the beginning? The applause thundered, but the pit of doubt still knotted in Jack's stomach. Was this victory enough? Or had he just ignited a rivalry that would only fuel Kyle's ambition? As they took their final pose, Jack's heart raced with uncertainty. What would Kyle do next? And was he prepared for whatever came after this dance? Jack stood there, his heart still racing, unsure whether to feel exhilarated or apprehensive. The applause washed over him like a wave, each clap a reminder that maybe just maybe he was on his way to something bigger than he ever imagined. Emma beamed at him, her eyes sparkling with joy. "You were amazing!" she exclaimed, her voice cutting through the lingering doubts. But even her words couldn't shield him from the reality that awaited. Kyle's smirk hadn't disappeared when the music stopped, it lingered like a dark cloud hovering in the corner of his mind. He scanned the crowd, searching for that familiar figure, and there he was, still leaning by the door, arms crossed, an undeniable challenge in his stance. Jack knew that look all too well, the one that said he was ready to fight, to prove that Jack's moment was just the beginning of a battle. The thought caused a knot in his stomach to tighten. "Hey, focus on the good vibes," Emma said, grabbing his attention. She twirled once, laughing lightly. "We did our best up there. That matters." "Yeah, I know," but as the cheers continued, Jack felt the moment slip away. He wished he could soak it all in, every ounce of admiration, but that smirk from Kyle kept pulling him back to earth. "Remember, we have competitors who are just as intense about winning this as we are," Emma added, taking a step closer. "But that doesn't mean we can't enjoy this moment." The pressure of the competition hung in the air, thick and heavy, like the scent of burnt coffee lingering in the diner. Jack forced himself to smile back, but the thoughts swirling in his mind made it hard to fully embrace the joy around him. Suddenly, the announcer's voice broke through the reverie. "Now, please welcome Kyle and his partner Sarah to the stage." Jack's heart sank. He felt a mix of dread and curiosity, like standing on a precipice with no idea where it might lead. People cheered as Kyle strutted out confidently, his usual flair on full display. Sarah, his partner, seemed less tactical, all grace and technique, as they took their places on the dance floor. "Just remember, the dance-off isn't everything," Emma whispered, sensing the tension rolling off him. "That's easy for you to say," Jack replied, his eyes locked on the stage, their movements precise and synchronized, expertly tapping into the rhythm of the music. "They're good. "Trust yourself, Jack," Emma replied softly. "You've got fire. Don't let them extinguish yours." As they danced, Jack couldn't help but notice how Kyle's gaze flickered toward him, a silent acknowledgement like a gauntlet thrown between them. Jack clenched his fist tightly, the energy vibrating in his body once more. Each dance move was a challenge, an assertion of dominance, and all of a sudden, they were back in that diner, the stage expanding beyond those four walls. Jack could see it clearly now, the reality that dancing for him wasn't about mere competition, it was about a deeper fight for respect, for himself. When Kyle finished, the crowd erupted in applause, but Jack felt the challenge bubbling beneath the surface. And as Kyle caught Jack's eye again, grinning, Jack realized something shifted inside him. This wasn't about whether they would win or lose. This was about stepping out of the shadows and into the light where he belonged. But would that be enough to satisfy Kyle and this looming rivalry? Was Jack ready for what was coming next? He clenched his jaw, fire igniting in his chest. Next up, Jack and Emma are returning to the floor. The announcer proclaimed. Jack's heart thumped loudly. This wasn't just a dance anymore, it was the beginning of his fight. Was he ready to meet Kyle's challenge head-on? With renewed determination, he turned toward Emma. "Let us show them what we've got." At that moment, he realized, the real dance was just beginning. But would it spiral further into rivalry, or could it lead him to victory he couldn't yet see? As Jack and Emma stepped back onto the floor, the world around them faded away. The music pulsed through their bodies, igniting an electric energy that carried them forward. This was their moment, a chance to embody everything they believed in, that dance could unite people, showcase their passions, and break down barriers. Jack met Emma's gaze, and in that instant, a silent promise passed between them. They were partners, not just in dance but in this fight against doubt, expectation, and fear. The rhythm surged, and they moved as one pirouette spun into bold leaps, fluid arm sweeps melted into precise footwork. The crowd's energy swelled, drawing them into a vibrant sea of applause and cheers. Jack felt the weights of judgment, of all the skeptics, fade with every step. It was just him, Emma, and the music. With each beat, they kicked their worries aside, the passion they poured into the performance vibrated like electricity, creating ripples of joy through the audience. Jack could feel the heart of the diner, the warmth of strangers united as a family, their laughter and encouragement lifting him like a wave. The dance-off reached a fever pitch, and it was as if they were painting a picture with their movements, every flourish a stroke of defiance against the rigidity of their worlds. This was more than a performance, it was a testament to resilience, a celebration of individuality. A few moments later, as the music reached its crescendo, Jack pulled Emma close, their bodies entwined seamlessly in a final ensemble move. They landed in perfect harmony, arms stretched towards the audience, chests heaving with the exhilaration of their victory, not just over the dance-off, but over their fears. The applause erupted, drowning out everything else, and Jack turned to Emma, his soul brimming with joy. She was radiant, eyes sparkling, her smile lighting up the room. They had done it together. But as they basked in the cheering, a shadow hovered in the corner of his mind. Kyle's smirk resurfaced, just a fleeting flicker of doubt. Yet, for the first time, Jack didn't let it consume him. He could see clearly this journey was about more than accolades or status, it was about connection, liberation, and love. In the far corner of the hall, Kyle stood clapping, and Jack noticed something in his expression, admiration laced with a flicker of vulnerability. It hit him, this rivalry didn't have to shatter friendships, perhaps it could evolve them. Emma squeezed his hand, snapping him back to the present. "We just danced our hearts out," she exclaimed, a joyous laugh bubbling forth. "Did you see their faces? They loved it." "Yeah, we connected with them. It felt real," he said, his voice a mix of disbelief and excitement. "This is what it's all about." Their celebration was abruptly interrupted as the announcer stepped forward, a clipboard in hand. "Thank you to everyone who participated tonight. And now, the winner of the dance-off is he paused, building suspense that crackled in the air. Jack felt his heart race. Would it be them? Did any of that matter? In that moment, he realized it didn't really matter. They had already won in a myriad of ways. Jack and Emma. The announcer declared, beaming from ear to ear. Congratulations. Shouts and cheers erupted around them, and Jack found himself lifted in the air by their newfound fans. Emma danced in circles around him, laughter bursting forth like bells ringing in the night. But in the midst of their euphoria, Jack searched for Kyle. He found him by the side, clapping, but this time without a trace of smugness. As their eyes met, Jack smiled, a genuine acknowledgement passing between them. Tomorrow they could navigate a new path, leave the rivalry behind, and perhaps grow from it together. That was incredible. Emma beamed, wrapping her arms around Jack's waist, her joy radiant. Yeah, he replied, his heart soaring, thank you for believing in me. You pushed me forward. We pushed each other. And look what we did. She said, a twinkle in her eye. They stood there, the cheers of the crowd sweeping over them. Knowing this was the moment when everything had shifted. The power of connection, community, and passion burned in their chests, igniting a fire that would carry them forward. As they left the competition, Emma shot a glance at Jack. So, what's next for you? And for us? Maybe I'll open that dance studio with you, he said, grinning. What? Emma squeaked, eyes wide. Yeah, I've realized living for others isn't the way to happiness. It's about what fuels us, what connects us, he said, the truth of it settling into his heart. We could teach people, bring the joy we found here to others. Emma jumped, filled with exhilaration. Can we really? That would be amazing. It will happen. Together. As they walked out into the night, hand in hand, a journey lay ahead filled with promise and potential. It was one of hope, courage, and the sweet taste of victory, but more than that, it was a testament that dreams don't fade when shared. They illuminate the way, guiding everyone towards something brighter. Now, the real dance had just begun. And you're reminded, if you were inspired by this incredible story, you need to subscribe now to the channel to not miss the next exclusive tales that tug at your heartstrings. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and keep these powerful stories flowing. Comment down below with your thoughts and feelings about this transformative journey. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to witness this incredible transformation. Your support makes all the difference.